You ever watch someone destroy the one thing keeping them alive with a smug grin on their face? Yeah, that happened. Her name was Brenda Colfax, brand new HOA president in a tidy little suburb outside Ashbury, Oregon. 6 months in the chair and already walking around like she was mayor of the state. And I'm standing there 30 feet away, under my old straw gardening hat, watching her order 12 tons of concrete dumped right into the pond my grandfather built with his bare hands 70 years ago. Completely unaware she just cut off the entire neighborhood's water supply. Not metaphorically, literally. That pond wasn't just some quaint backyard feature. It was the heart of a water distribution system hidden so well, most folks forgot it even existed. Not me, though. I'd been maintaining it quietly since I moved back after my divorce. Just me, my tools, and Grandpa's old engineering journals. Every nut and bolt of that system. I knew it like the back of my hand. But Brenda? Nah. She showed up in a navy blue pantsuit and one of those shiny HOA president badges that looked like it came out of a cereal box, swaggering around like she just saved the neighborhood from a biohazard. Said the pond was a breeding ground for mosquitoes and unsanitary conditions. Said she was going to replace it with a safe, modern playground for the children. And you know what? I could have stopped her. Right then and there. One explanation. One diagram. I had all the paperwork. My grandfather's notes, hand-drawn schematics, calculations about rainfall, filtration layers, flow distribution. It was all there. But the way she looked at me, like I was some relic, like I was the problem, like I was the reason she wasn't getting her clean sweep HOA fantasy. So, I let her. Let her march across my yard with her clipboard warriors, measuring every inch like she was prepping for court. Let her ignore the handwritten letter I slipped under her door. Please research the pond's original purpose before taking irreversible action. Let her toss it in the trash with a muttered, anonymous intimidation tactics. She called me sentimental, said her decisions were evidence-based and in line with modern community safety standards. Bless her heart. I don't think she even realized she was orchestrating a disaster of epic proportions with that clipboard. See, that pond collected rainwater, fed it through underground channels into 4 deep wells that served 180 homes in our little community. No one knew because it worked so well, so silently. Most folks thought city water came straight from the utility lines. It didn't. It came from Grandpa's design. So yeah, I watched them dig it up. Watched the excavator's steel teeth shred through 70 years of quiet, elegant engineering. Watched the goldfish flail as water levels dropped. Watched neighbors nod along, chatting about how nice it'll be to have a playground there instead. Even Betty Jo, the only other person in the neighborhood old enough to remember, walked by with a grim look on her face. She whispered, "Walt, are you sure?" I just shook my head, because sometimes folks don't learn by being told. They learn by watching the consequences roll in. And boy, did they roll in. 18 hours later, it began. Mrs. Daly from Maple Court called the HOA emergency line complaining her water pressure had vanished. A few more calls came in after that, then a flood. By day 2, over half the neighborhood had no water. Toilets wouldn't flush. Showers ran dry. Families were filling up buckets at the community pool just to wash dishes. Then I saw her, 7-year-old Emma Richards, walking 4 blocks with her grandma, lugging a water bucket twice her size. Her hands blistered from the handle, but she didn't complain, just kept walking. That's when the guilt kicked in. Because while Brenda had made the mistake, I'd let it happen. I sat on the porch that night, Betty beside me, sipping lukewarm tea like it was moonshine. "You gotta say something, Walt," she said. "This isn't just teaching a lesson anymore. People are hurting." She was right, but I needed Brenda to realize it herself, to understand that good intentions don't mean a damn thing without understanding, that leadership without humility is just a wrecking ball with lipstick. By day 3, the neighborhood was in full crisis mode. Brenda was working 18-hour days, calling the city, demanding answers from utility companies who kept telling her, "There's no issue on our end." That's when she knocked on my door. No badge, no clipboard, just her, shoulders slumped, face pale, like she hadn't slept in a week. "I need to ask you something," she said. "Can this be fixed?" And for the first time, I didn't see a tyrant in a suit. I saw a woman who'd tried her best, and failed, and who actually wanted to make it right. I nodded. Yes, but you need to tell them. Tell everyone what happened, that you ignored the warnings, that you didn't ask the right questions. She sat in my kitchen and cried. Not performative tears, not politician tears, real ones, the kind that sting because they're tied to shame. The emergency HOA meeting that night was heavy. The entire room packed, no seats left, parents holding babies, elderly neighbors with canes. And Brenda walked to the front of the room, voice trembling, hands shaking, and said, "I made a terrible mistake. Mr. Whitaker, that's me, tried to warn me. I dismissed him. I was so convinced I knew what was best. I didn't even consider I might be wrong. I destroyed something vital, and now all of you are suffering because of it." Silence. No shouting, no blame, just realization. You could see it in their eyes. People weren't mad anymore, they were stunned. Because it wasn't just about the water, it was about how easily we let someone make decisions for us without asking questions. After that, something shifted. The HOA wasn't just a bunch of bureaucrats anymore, it became a team. We launched the restoration project the following Monday. Teens volunteered to help remove the concrete. Old-timers brought out dusty photos and stories of how things used to work. Even the elementary school kids got involved. One of them drew a chalkboard picture of the pond and wrote, "Where my grandpa got water for bubble baths." That one got me. Brenda and I worked side by side. She organized contractors, coordinated city permits. I oversaw the technical work, rebuilding the filtration system, reinforcing the well caps, re-engineering the flow lines. And what we built was even better than before. Modernized, sure, but grounded in history, in understanding. Brenda was re-elected 6 months later. Not because she promised playgrounds or prettier flower beds, but because she promised transparency, consultation, and actual listening. She even created a new position, technical and historical advisor, just for me. These days, we sit by the pond some evenings. Don't talk much. Just listen to the sound of water moving again, strong and steady, like an apology that never quite stops. You know what the wildest part is? She still brings tea. And sometimes I think, maybe we needed the chaos to remember what makes a community strong. It's not shiny new things. It's memory. It's respect. It's knowing when to act and when to ask. So yeah, let this be a reminder. The next time someone tells you they know best, ask them how they know. And maybe, just maybe, we all stop mistaking confidence for competence. What would you have done in my place? Let it happen, or stopped it? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm curious, where do we draw the line between teaching a lesson and protecting the innocent? Hit that like button if this hit you somewhere deep, and don't forget to subscribe. More stories like this are just a ripple away.